Welcome to Everything Commanders with your host, Dream Team Buddha. Hail to the Commanders. What's good, Commanders family? The move that most people wanted to see outside of Myles Garrett to Washington, D.C., which is Tee Higgins to Washington, D.C., may have all but come to an end before it even got started. Today, all 32 NFL teams can apply the franchise tag to their players who they couldn't get a deal done that they do not wish to let go and hit free agency. What does that mean? That means a player like Tee Higgins may not need a plane ticket to come to Washington, D.C. That means the only way we will be able to get Tee Higgins is via a trade. And if they franchise tag Tee Higgins, that means they ain't trying to trade him. Tee Higgins loves it in Cincinnati. Joe Burrow is even being a spokesperson for Tee Higgins. He is promoting that he wants Tee Higgins to stay in the building. Him, Jamar Chase, and Joe Burrow, those three together is a major trio for the NFL, and they don't want to break that up. And I can't blame them because those three together are dangerous. It's okay, though. It's okay. Tee Higgins staying in Cincinnati. I already kind of figured that we weren't going to get him because you know, it's no bad blood between Tee Higgins and the Cincinnati Bengals. He actually wants to stay there. So I'm okay with it. I'm not too sure about you. And I know it will be a dream come true to get a big receiver like Tee Higgins to come on over to Washington, opposite side of Terry McLaurin. That would have been great. But at the same time, if you ask me, Tee Higgins was somewhat injury prone over the last couple of years, and I think that's why they wasn't trying to give him the deal that he thought that he deserved last year. So they franchise tagged him. He played on the franchise tag, but he also got injured that season as well. But he came back and he played well. They just didn't make the playoffs. So we went from the speculation that if Tee Higgins becomes available, then the Washington Commanders can make a move to sign a Tee Higgins, and he's going to want top dollar, where he is willing to take a pay cut just to stay in Cincinnati. And because they're going to likely franchise tag him, they haven't yet, but they're going to likely franchise tag him. The team only had to pay him $20 million to franchise tag him last season. So this season is his second franchise tag. You can only get 2 franchise tags per person. So therefore, as I say, Commanders family, 9 times out of 10, maybe even 9.5 times out of 10, Tee Higgins will be staying in Cincinnati. So that means Cincinnati to D.C. ain't going to happen. So what's next for Washington? I'm glad you asked. There is a possibility that we can get DK Metcalf, or we can possibly draft one in this year's upcoming draft. I know there isn't much talent when it comes to wide receiver class. It's not a stacked wide receiver class this year, but there's talent in the draft. Yes, it is. And I know we got a whole lot of other needs that we may need to address, but at the same time, we have enough picks to make moves. I believe AP is going to do whatever it takes to make this team better than it once was last year. We definitely need wide receiver number 2, and hopefully it's a wide receiver number 1A, B type situation, where as though Terry McLaurin is 1A and that other receiver is a 1B. So hopefully we get a dominant receiver to come in and be wide receiver number 2. Now, you can't forget about Luke McCaffrey. We still have Luke McCaffrey on the roster. Him and Terry McLaurin are the only 2 wide receivers that we have a deal for this upcoming season. But it's early, okay? So no need to panic there. We're going to get more talent in the wide receiver room. You can believe that. I've been seeing reports that there's ties to Christian Kirk, because you know Cliff Kingsbury, at one point in time, Christian Kirk came from the Cardinals, and he's been in Jacksonville ever since then. But now Cliff Kingsbury is our offensive coordinator, so that may be a match made in heaven. And I know Christian Kirk may not be an elite wide receiver at this time in his career, but he's still pretty damn good. We just have to sit back and see if there will be any players that will be tagged. And it may not happen today. They have until March 4th. So these organizations may take their time applying the franchise tag to their players. So if nothing gets done today, don't get excited. It's still time for them to tag Tee Higgins or any other player that we might want to need. So yeah, turn your notifications on. Keep a lookout for these franchise players being franchise tagged. Now, if Tee Higgins don't get tagged for whatever reason, and I know it's a slim chance that he won't get tagged, then we can start the speculation all over again, because if he don't get tagged, 9 times out of 10, he gone. And if he gone, then I see the Commanders making a move to go get him. Would I want them to go get him? Yeah, I wouldn't mind if they go get him. But my main focus is Myles Garrett. I want them to go get Myles Garrett. Whatever it's going to take to get him, as long as it don't blow up the whole house, send the house. Whatever we need to do to get Myles Garrett in D.C., we need to do it, because we cannot let the Philadelphia Eagles get Myles Garrett or Cowboys get Myles Garrett. Now, they ain't got no money for real, but at the same time, you see your boy Michael Parsons talking about he'll take a short just to get Myles Garrett to come on over there with them. We don't want that tandem to take place. Neither do we want him and Jalen Carter to take place. So, Adam Peters, if you're listening, Myles Garrett, if he's going to come to the NFC East, he needs to be coming to the Washington Commanders, okay? Because we don't got nobody that can stop them two beasts, okay? So yeah, just sit back and let's see how everything unfolds. If you're new to the channel, do me a favor, hit that sub button. To all my Commanders family, Commander Nation, I appreciate you all. Shout out to those who subscribe already. Hit that bell notification, turn your bell notifications on, so that way you can be first in line to get the news as the news drop for the Washington Commanders. I am your guy that's going to give you the information that you need to keep you informed with our beloved Washington Commanders. And so with that being said, we definitely gonna catch you on the next one. And before I go, as I always say, left hand up. Who are we? The Commanders.